What's up, everybody? It's Nacho Jedi. Once again, it's another Friday, and I'm here. So today might not be super long of a topic. Been very busy. Hopefully, y'all had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. You all ate, shot some fireworks, have all your fingers. But yeah, today we're going to be talking a little bit different. It's not going to be so much Star Wars related. It's going to be more just overall, just being creative, I guess. Not just with what's it called? Just Star Wars itself or just movies and cinema, but overall just being creative people and just being human. It's a very fun process that I think we're going to go through, because I want to dig deeper in every single topic that I talk about over time. This one especially, because this is such a broad topic that I can get very, very specific throughout different topics, whether it's cinema, whether it's books, or music, or just overall like playing games, making things up, just everyday life. I feel like humans as a whole, we're very creative. We make everything. We have the internet, we have guitars, we have cars, we have roads. Everything came up with somebody being creative and then just having the drive and sometimes just the knowledge to do it, or just trying to study to figure things out. And that's with everything. That's how you get better. That's how you achieve different things in your life, and that's just how you just become a better person, I guess. So specifically talking cinema, it's very amazing and how some of these people just come up with their ideas. A lot of it is because they're influenced by other things, which majority of the time it seems to be the case. George Lucas is, influenced by several other different movies. You can even look at Harry Potter, also influenced by different things. Twilight, she was influenced by her different stuff. And then you can even go to the composers like John Williams, what he's influenced by, and even like Hans Zimmer, what he's influenced by as well. There's just so many different things, and I would like to go and dig deeper into each kind of topic. So if anybody has any suggestions, or a specific person or movie or book that they would like, to talk about, definitely leave a comment. I will look at it, and I will try to do my best to talk about it. Obviously, I'm not subject matter expert in everything cinema related. I'm just a guy, but it's definitely a fun topic to have, and it's fun to just think about and just kind of appreciate kind of what we have around us, whether it, like I said, something very, very small like a little toy car, or some grand like some of the skyscrapers we have. It's just a bunch of crazy, amazing things that humans are just managed to be creative. But going to more of the cinema side, you really look at a lot of the movies that are made. It takes a very special person and a very special drive and influence to get the things that we get. I know that depending on the individual, it comes out a different story. My story is not going to be the same as somebody else's story. It might be influenced by that person if they came before me, writing a book or anything like that. I would be more heavily influenced by George Lucas because I'm a big Star Wars fan. That's just the way it is. Music, it would be more off of my taste of music. Your taste might be different, but it's definitely something that you can transition and move around and be very fluid with, because you can always take inspiration from something or someone else. A lot of these movie writers or producers or directors, whatever you want to say, are very heavily influenced by certain things that happen in their life. I know for J.K. Rowling's specific thing for Harry Potter. She was thinking about it while she was riding on a train, and and Harry Potter has probably the most iconic train that you could think of in cinema. Um, and that's how she was one of her inspirations, and of course her the passing of her mother and stuff, and her life that way. It's influenced the way that she thinks. It influences the way that she processes different things, and and how she just kind of vents it out. And some people use books or writing or music as that outlet. Me personally, like, you go to the music aspect of it, a lot of the old music that, or I guess now it's technically dad rock, the old emo music and stuff. That's all of us, golly, makes myself feel old. But you listen to the older emo music, is very heavy, very influenced by their emotions, by the things that they've experienced in life. And it's kind of fun in a sense to see the world in other people's eyes. And in movies, if you go to movies, it's the same thing. How someone is inspired by the world around them, and then has the process or the mind or the creativity to make their own world out of that. You take Star Wars, Harry Potter, like I've mentioned, and you can even take other movies and shows, how the person perceives the world around them, and then can kind of influence that in their mind to make something new. There's always going to be like fundamental things that are kind of relatively the same. A lot of things, if you're going to do space stuff, it's all going to look relatively the same, space type of stuff. Very influenced by the other planets around us, or you're influenced by just here on Earth, depending on the planet that you created. You can easily tell that certain parts of Earth influences a certain type of thinking for certain writers, and that's how they come up with the world around them. You look at Star Wars, really hard to put a nose, to put your finger on it, that George Lucas got the inspiration of Tatooine by the desert. Like, it's a desert planet. Obviously, that's what he was influenced by, and it has, it's very hard, very rugged, a difficult way of living, and that's the way that he wanted to tell his story. Somebody coming from that type of place, something very difficult, something very hard to overcome, showing that. You look at other different shows as well, and that it's the same thing. Like I talked previously on a previous episode about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon, and you see how each nation is different by the way that their environment is. They're nomads who are a little bit more fluid. They're more free in a sense. They're up in the mountains and the clouds and stuff like that. So whoever was writing that was probably influenced by the environment around them, saying like, yeah, that's what I see when I look at the mountains, when I look at the sky. I see the clouds kind of covering the mountains and stuff. That you can see that, and that's what drives people's creativity. And some people is a little bit more darker than others. You have Stephen King, for example, where a lot of his stuff is very dark, and he's very influenced by the way that he sees life, or things that traumatized him probably as a kid. I'm assuming that you don't make It the Clown or Pennywise the way you do if you really enjoyed clowns growing up as a kid. I think that probably influenced him a little bit. I may be wrong, but at the same time, that's my way of thinking about it as well. It's like, a lot of people find clowns uncomfortable. So if you can sit here and make a world where that's the antagonist right there, and everybody's focused on, like, you're messing with a lot of people's phobias, clowns. You're throwing that in the movie or putting that in the book, and it just kind of messes people's mind, and that's what you're trying to achieve, and then cool. But that's just the way that you come up with your story, and that's just the way that people can really show their creativity. You can even look at just young kids, and it's always fun seeing kids play around and stuff, because they come and make up their own little games. You have a certain game there, it's meant to be a certain way. You're like, as an adult, you're like, yeah, that's what it's made for. Throw like or whatever, it sticks to whatever, and yeah, that's the game. And kids start making other things with it. That's how all these games were created, just people just being creative. And I love seeing, like, my daughter especially just running around playing with her little toys and stuff, just making her own story. She has her little bluey house and stuff, and she just plays with them, telling her own little story with the different characters that are provided with her. But it's her story, and it's the same with everybody, and I would say that if you feel like you are not creative, you just haven't found a way to really push your creativity out, or really taking the time, reflected deeply enough to find out how is the best way that you really express yourself in that way. Some people are better at writing books. Some people are better at writing music, or just playing a guitar, or playing the bass, trumpet, whatever. And they see it through that eyes. And some people, you know what? You grab some toys, start playing with toys, make your own little world, or you just go outside and you just let your mind wander. And that's okay too. I've done that many times. Sitting here, I have many long drives cross country, going to see family and stuff. And I'm just sitting there, look up into the sky, and start thinking, start daydreaming, and creating things. At least in your mind, it's just trying to get it out. It's the hard part. I tell you right now, like, my personal struggle is I can sit here and have all these different ideas, but it's hard to actually, like, push them out of my mind, and that's been something that's been very difficult for me personally, is trying to figure out the best way to push it out. It might be doing this podcast. It might be continuing to write a book. Will I ever finish it? I don't know. It's mainly for me, but it's another way to kind of get my creativity out there. Maybe it's making songs, like right now, if you can hear the music in the background, that was made by one of my best friends. He made that. That's his creativity. That's his creative side coming out. And you know what? Shout out to my buddy Adam. Thank you for making it. I really appreciate his support. Got to shout out to bro. But yeah, that's how he is being, like, showing his creative side. And it's all different for different types of people, and we're all influenced by our own different things. And really, I want to say, with cinema and just creativity in general, both linking up, like, I feel like that's the best way that people see creativity outside of music. I think it kind of like they rival each other a little bit. Sometimes people are like, oh, and these musicians are super creative, but then you're like, these writers are super creative. It's just crazy. And when they blend together, like John Williams or Hans Zimmer, into these movies, you got something even crazier going on. And I say, when you get a bunch of creative people together and they work on one project, and they have the ability to really shine and show their creativity, you get a bunch of really wonderful and beautiful things. That's why we have the movies that we have, and we have the music that we have, and all the cool stuff that we have, whether it's your PC gaming, you're on the PlayStation, Xbox, or even people just making websites like Twitch or Facebook, just creative people doing creative things. And some people do it because they want to help the world and continue to improve society. Some people do it for selfish reasons, like, hey, I just trying to make money. Or some people are just like, I just do it because it's fun. And all of those reasons are okay. It's just getting to really figure out what makes you creative, and what really drives you and influences you. And this episode here is really going to be one of the segues into a bunch of different episodes that I do about cinema and music and other things. This podcast is not just strictly dedicated to Star Wars all the time. Star Wars is, once again, like I said, a very big influence. So is the movie Nacho Libre. I don't get to talk about that too much because not as many people have seen Nacho Libre, but those are two of my favorites, and that's why I'm here. And I will say, that I definitely gonna dive deeper into all of that in the future. I want to break down more movies and maybe even scores and stuff like that. But the like and the comment of what you would like to hear or talk about would definitely be very helpful on making future episodes. So I don't talk about just things that I like, but what everybody else would like as well. And we can all dig deeper and dive together in this wonderful journey of my podcast, I guess you can say. I would say that although, like, you see the results of people's creativity all around, that it is very difficult to sustain that. It's very difficult to come up with brand new ideas, brand new things for people to see. And, I think that's why you see sometimes musicians and other artists like long breaks in between albums outside of touring, of course. But you gotta sit here and reflect some more and allow time for your creativity to like kind of come back in and be able to be expressed in the way that you want it to be expressed. And I would say that I feel like over time that a lot of things get very repetitive, if I can speak. And it's fine. People like reboot different things. You like redo it so it fits with the modern time. That's cool and everything. And I feel like the big critique nowadays for cinema itself is that a lot of these movies don't seem like they're unique enough, that they are different enough. And which I think is probably one of the biggest critiques of like some of the newer Star Wars stuff in general. And I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer or talk too negatively about the new Star Wars stuff, because I have my own personal feelings on the new Star Wars stuff and the old Star Wars stuff, and I can lean one way and the other. If my buddy Danny was here, he would tell you he knows my opinions, and most of the people who know me know my opinions on the newer Star Wars stuff. So I'm not going to talk about that right now. But if that conversation comes up in the future, then so be it. But as of right now, I want to be more positive on the subject. And really, if you look at what some of these other people are doing with their movies and stuff, I would say, how do I want to say this? I don't want to say it in the wrong way or it come out weird. You know what? Sip of coffee might work. Give me 1 minute, please. But maybe I'll figure out a different way to say it some other time. But as of right now, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah. So I would say that if you ever have the time to sit down and like just watch the videos on YouTube, which I know we all do, really like look at your favorite people, like favorite artists and stuff, and look at some interviews, see what actually influenced them in the way to make the things that they made. Maybe it might inspire you even more, and see who they were inspired by. Everybody's inspired by somebody or something, so it's not like it just comes out of nowhere. Every single thing is inspired by something. So find something that inspires you. Like I said, it really depends on a different type of person. I personally, it's kind of weird. Like I'm inspired by a lot of things, and I can go all over the place. And I can start different things. I can do different things. Sometimes I don't finish things because I get distracted and I just want to do everything. I'm the type of person that likes to get my hands on everything. At least try everything. So I can't sit here and say I never at least attempted it. If I find out that it wasn't for me, then it wasn't for me. And that's just how I am with everything. Sometimes it will take me years to do something. Sometimes it just takes the right moment for me to just start something like this podcast. I wasn't really planning on it. It just kind of happened over time. And I was like, you know what? why not give it a whirl and just see what happens? And you know what? You never know. I might be able to be more creative. Eventually, someday, I will have a cool background outside of this nacho thing. Get like pictures and stuff in the background. But as of right now, I don't know how I'm going to decorate the back. So this stays. But then again, this was still very creative of me to just find something to put behind me, so you don't see a blank wall. But I will say that one of the greatest things when it comes to trying to be creative and doing something new and being inspired is just really the journey itself. A lot of the time, and I would say, I'm going to use, of course, myself as an example. I don't have nobody else here. So as for myself, growing up and watching these different movies, and kind of seeing the journey of the different characters and just like how they're all written differently. And, you know, it goes back to my last episode on how you develop a character and stuff like that. But it's really like crazy to think, if you look at all those different characters, a lot of times the book before it was a movie, like Harry Potter, one person wrote that, and the person was able to write different characters and they show how they are different from each other, how they, you know, talk differently, their different emotions, and can really show a different, like a large spectrum of their creativity, because they can be different characters because they're writing as different characters. And that's how you can really tell like a good book from a bad book, or a good movie from a bad movie, is when either the actor or the actress is really like putting themselves into that character, letting that character come out through them. I feel like that's why certain people will always be known as a specific character. They could do a million movies, but they're known for just one or two characters. And that's every great actor. If you know, like anybody, they've been in multiple movies, but you know them specifically for one. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, hands down. Ain't nobody else. Like, he's been in plenty of other movies. He Iron Man. Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. That's it. He's been in many other things. Maybe you could say Edward Scissorhands. That's cool too. But he's Captain Jack Sparrow. Like, that's just because they were made for that role, and you can see that they put everything that they had really into that role, and they just come out to be that, like, to really come out that way. And some characters are just made for specific actors. You have, for instance, and I'm hoping this movie comes out and does really well, and it's a really, really good movie. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. If a character and an actor was meant to be together, it was Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. Like, that's Deadpool. That's Ryan Reynolds. He doesn't even have to act. He just being himself. Like, that just seems like the perfect fit. And I will say that's all character. Get to see their character come to life through an actor or actress as perfectly as it did. And I feel like that's always the fun part about cinema. I feel like that's the fun part about, you know, in a sense, books and music, especially music. Especially when you get to see that the composer has full reign to really just throw everything into that score or into that movie, just as much as the writer did. I saw a video of John Williams talking about that he never asked for the script from Star Wars. He just watched it, and whenever there was a shocking moment, he was like, "Oh, this was a shocking moment. Here, write that down." And he's like, "Okay, so I know that this is what I'm going to go for when this moment comes up, so that people in the audience can react the same way I did. This is a shocking moment in the film. This is this type of moment, or that type of sad, happy, you know, victorious, feeding type of moment. It just allows him to do whatever he can, and without a script, he wasn't spoiled by anything, so he was able to just kind of flow with it. And John Williams will always be an awesome example when it comes to composing and just cinema in general. Like, he's done so much, and that would be one dude I would really like to meet. He's getting up there in age, but I would really love to meet John Williams. I think that would be awesome one day. But if you continue looking at other examples of people being creative, I feel one thing that doesn't get spoken about a lot is voice actors and voice actresses. They, I feel like, are very creative as well, because they're not the ones sitting in front of the camera, but their voices, and they have to be very, very careful with how they say different things or how they act as their character. They can change every single time, and they can do multiple different characters, and you're sitting here like, man, I didn't know this person played this guy, this dude is crazy. And sometimes you never even know. Like, it can be one person doing multiple different things, and you have no idea. And you're like, man, this person's been in my whole childhood, growing up, like every step in the way. I remember when I was younger and I found out that Mark Hamill was the Joker in the animated series. Like, man, Mark Hamill was always in my life. He's somewhere, and I'm like, this guy just doesn't go away. And I didn't know in the beginning that he did voice acting too, but it was amazing that he can sit here and put himself in the character of the Joker, and he's been doing that for forever. And there's plenty other actors and actresses that do that, whether they do it in both live action or if they do it in just animated. Either way, they're all very special, and they all have really, really creative genes. And I feel like it doesn't end with them and just just start and end with them. It's everybody, and it's just really finding that outlet. That outlet's very important, and just having the courage to at least try it. It's really worse, and I'll tell you, like, something that's very difficult sometimes is just you want to do different things, but you don't know where to start or how to do it, and you get discouraged because you're like, oh, would I be successful in this and stuff? And it kind of like, okay, maybe not, maybe I will, but you don't see the results right away, and you just you can get down, or you've been doing something for so long, you never got your opportunity or like shot to hit the big time. Not everybody does, and that's okay, but you got to be satisfied sometimes with just doing the thing that you love. Other things will come in time. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. I'm not going to sit here and think that I'm going to be like this huge podcast, guru. That's just not me. I know my job. I know my role. This is something that I do fun on the side. If people come and join the party, then that's awesome. So be it. Come and join the party. If they don't, then that's fine too. But just let yourself be able to have that outlet, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. My buddy always tells me everybody's a critic. So if you're trying to make everybody happy, that's not going to happen. So don't even try to do that. Make yourself happy. Sit here and do something to make yourself feel better about you. And just try it. Let it out. Let it loose and see. Maybe you can make something amazing. Whether you share it with somebody or not, it's up to you, but at least you did it. Break. Let's see, am I back? I might be back. Sorry, it's technical difficulties. The weather is not the best over here. It has been raining, so my Wi-Fi cuts in and out every once in a while. But I still try to get through anyways. Maybe one day I'll be better at this. But as of right now, I'm just kind of dealing and working with what I got. But yeah, um, back to more, I guess, serious topic is really believe in yourself, believe in your story, uh, do your best to, really sit down and let your creative juices flow out of you, whether it's something super small, like drawing a picture. Some people are really good artists. I do not have that gift. You can ask my sisters, you can ask my, my family in general. I can't draw. That's not me. I can't do that. That's not my creative way of doing things. Just not the way I'm built. I try. I think I maybe had one art project in my whole life that I was like, oh, you know what? That turned out pretty good. I was actually proud of it. Outside of that, complete garbage. I can't do that. Um, but musically, I was able to get my creative juices flowing. Uh, Obviously, there's people way better than me, but it wasn't really about them. It was really about myself and just letting my creativity out. And especially with everything else that I do, you try to be creative to find solutions to problems. That's another way to do that. Um, Not everything has to be showy or flashy. Sometimes you can be very creative in the way that you solve problems. And in my career, that's what I've noticed works the best. The more creative people are, the more successful we were in accomplishing what we needed to accomplish. Um, and over this last year or so, I started getting into other like hobbies and stuff, and like studying other different things. For example, I know I'm going to bore a lot of people when I say this, but I got into chess. Am I good? No. Don't ask me what my rating is, if you even know what that is, because I know a lot of people are not into chess. But just watching the chess players themselves, the grandmasters, the elite of the elite, how creative they are with the way that they move pieces, how they're able to think ahead, and that's just in the awesomeness of the game, I guess, too. And let's see what I have a comment here. I guess, yeah. Look, I'm going to show this comment. So yeah, I guess I'm pretty good creativity. My highest grades in school were from music, art, and woodcraft. See, my highest grade, I don't even remember what my highest grade is. Music was one of them. I did take band when I was in school, and that was always fun. I wasn't the best, but I was pretty good. Woodshop or woodcraft for you, I never got to do. Probably was going to be really bad at it because I said I am not artsy in any type of way. I can't build really anything if it doesn't have instructions already with it. Let somebody else with that creativity help me build that, because if I don't have the instructions, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But first, I see a thing. Hello there to you too. But yeah, and just letting that thing, letting it come out, and just letting yourself be kind of vulnerable as well, and just be you. Like people nowadays try so hard to be something else. Just be yourself. Just sit here and do the things that you love. Do the things that you want to achieve, or do to make yourself feel better. Then do that. Like, not everybody's gonna have the same thing. Everybody wants to be a musician. Everybody wants to be an artist. Everybody wants to be an actor. Everybody wants to be an actress. Whatever, or be a pro. Whatever it is, athlete or whatever. Some people are if it's not for you, it's not for you. I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, quit your dreams. Don't do that either. But if you're gonna do that, then be yourself. Let's see. I have another comment. It says, yeah. this is very important as well. And yeah, it is very important. I mean, that's how you get your influences. That's how you be inspired by, um, inspired to do the things that you want to do and create the things that you want to create, because you have that person in that area that inspires. That's crazy. Um, but inspires you to try to uh, be at that level, or be what they are. If you want to be a writer and you're inspired to be a writer, you start writing. Like, what are you waiting for? Just write. I'm not a writer. I really am not. But I was inspired one day, driving, and I came up with an idea for a book. I started writing it. Did I finish it? No, definitely not. I have not finished it. I'm nowhere near being close to finish. But over time, every once in a while, I'll find myself writing and trying to create a story from what I was imagining at that time. I was driving in the middle of the night, going to Detroit, which my friend Mikey, I was actually on my way to go see y'all. I appreciate you lurking, brother. But yeah, I was going to go see my friends, whatever, middle of the night, driving. I think it was like an 8-hour drive, 9-hour drive, and I was like, you know what? Listening to music, because I was listening to like Avenged Sevenfold's newest album at the time, and just looking out in the stars and stuff, and I just like thinking of this story, and I was like, I need to write this down, or I'm gonna forget it. And talking to a couple of my other buddies, my buddy Danny, who I had on the podcast before, talking to him on Marco Polo about it, and just me and him trading ideas. And I'm like, this is what I think could happen. This is the way I would like the story to kind of go. And just being two creative guys, just talking and trying to figure something out. And maybe one day I'll finish it. It'll probably be just for me though. But it's still something that I was inspired by, because the music I was listening to and space itself. I'm very influenced by just things around me, and eventually maybe I'll finish writing it, but I started it, and that's very important too. It's just getting that first step, just like how I did the podcast. The first step was actually just going out and doing it. You have to start somewhere, whether it's just you watching you on stream all the time, or maybe other people coming in, like people I have watching right now, which I appreciate everybody who is here. Hopefully we can continue to have wonderful conversations, and y'all continue to comment and stuff. But I think that's pretty much it that I had for this topic. I'm definitely gonna be trying to figure out more topics later on down the line. I will say that it was very difficult to figure out a topic for this week. I kind of got sidetracked with family coming in town and work and stuff. I was like, oh man, I don't have a topic for this episode. I have to come up with something. And I'm glad I was able to talk to my mom and stuff and figure out a topic. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. I hope you guys continue to watch, and make sure that you like and subscribe, hit the little notification button. Follow me on Twitch. My buddy Mikey is watching me on Twitch right now. Follow me on Instagram at Nacho Jedi66, or here on YouTube. All three would be awesome, but hey, you don't have to. But I'd really appreciate it. Definitely hitting the like button and subscribing to this channel would definitely be helpful. I appreciate you all, and yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had. So you all take it easy, and you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. See ya.